Rites of Passage has been involved in this community by having over 50 young people in this community of Parma, Wakanda, that have gone through their Rites of Passage. You know, they've gone through the process, and the elders in the community and the adults in the community have a level of expectation for them, or a heightened sense of expectation around them giving back to the community, them being self-aware, them being culturally connected, and even to the fact that they have a whole different language and understanding amongst themselves.
Hello, my name is Camile Charles. My account day name is Abena. Abena means inspiring, bold, and a determined risk taker.
My name is Dion Daly, and my account day name is Kofi. It means a male child who was born on a Friday.
My name is Rashawn Farquharson, and my account day name is Kwabena.
My name is Ziadah, and my account day name is Essie, and I'm a Sunday child. And being born on a Sunday means you're confident, passionate, resilient, and a leader.
I think Rites of Passage for me, is really a Sankofa. It's really a going back and reclaiming and moving forward.
The rites process in whatever culture you're dealing with is about moving adolescence to responsible adulthood. So one of the things that we stress in Rites of Passage is that understanding those 4 questions. Who am I? How did I come to be who I am? Am I really who I think I am? What is my life's purpose?
And it's a critical component in terms of our young people and giving them awareness, self-identity, but mostly having a roadmap, you know, to kind of craft out their life and acknowledge that they will be going through different stages, and which will be different rights, you know, from being a young person, an adult, an elder, an ancestor, for them to understand that process. So definitely that's what it comes down to.
Rites of Passage is, to me, practically a program where it provides awareness, information of what's happening around the world with Black youths and like our culture in general, things that Black youths would not know if they were born in Canada or America, they get to know once they join Rites of Passage.
Rites of Passage means to me just getting like a sense of like my background and also just getting to learn more about my heritage and where I come from as a young Black woman.
Why did I join Rites of Passage? I think it was to get a sense to learn more about my African history and culture, and just to meet up with other like-minded youths.
Rites of Passage to me, like this space, a second home. You have somewhere else to go to.
Rites of Passage it's like transition. It's like entering a matrix and then coming back out of that matrix a whole new person. You're coming as yourself, and then you're coming out with a bunch of brothers and sisters because your bond is now strengthened because you've gone through that experience together. It's a program that really had a very positive impact in my life.
The support and also being able to learn about your history. I'm of a Caribbean background. I never thought of myself as an African. So being able to see on different side, if you're not just Caribbean, you're African, Caribbean, like learning the different roots and where you actually come from. So to me, that's what Rites of Passage is.
Getting to go to Ghana and also getting to get like the elders' experience and also just getting to listen to their story.
Artists love to talk about honey because when you feel like you want to get angry or you want to just tell somebody off, you're about to tell them some words that you don't want your parents to even hear, put some honey on your tongue, yeah? Put some honey on your tongue and bring some sweetness to your heart. And then drink some water.
Been so disconnected to some of the fundamental practices and principles that actually make us who we are, which is people of African descent.
Some of the challenges that youth of African descent face today are racism, discrimination, police brutality, lack of self-identity, lack of familiarity with the culture, their original culture.
And one of the issues that I'll talk about, something that's happening right now, is racism, the Black Lives Matter situation that's going on. Rights helps us face issues like that by creating a space for us to come together, sit down and talk.
It opened my eyes to the realities of racism and just like the injustices we see every day. Had me just like questioning everything that I was being taught, you know, made me want to look more into like African spirituality and that sort of thing.
Racism, discrimination, shadeism, and I think that's a big one because youths today are challenging with the shade of their skin and how they look, their identity outside in the world and with the social media. So I think that's a very big issue facing youth of African descent today.
To a certain extent, our elders, they're actually damaged to some degree. They are damaged because they have not had the opportunity really to come into themselves as full people of African origin.
So Rites of Passage helps youth to address these issues by educating them on how the world usually sees Black people, and just being mindful of taking that into consideration, that you're not necessarily perceived the way everyone else perceives you as well.
Rites of Passage has helped me transition to adulthood, I'm more responsible, a little more focused, more patient, less easy to anger.
So you're learning about the principles. One of the principles that I really connected with is Nia, which means purpose. And with that connection throughout the entire program, I started to kind of discover what my purpose is. That helped me transition into adulthood and to separate passion and career from purpose.
Purpose is actually a big one. So I was a professional dancer for a couple of years in Toronto. And then I was like, what am I really doing with dance? Now I want to be a psychologist who works with Black youths.
I would say when it comes to like just owning who I am and like my background, I would say like I struggled with it for a bit throughout high school, and then like once I was done, I did own it, and now I'm just proud of who I am as Malika.
My hair is natural. I'm much more comfortable with my natural hair. I actually feel very strange after I have extensions or anything on for a long time. So it's helped me to see the beauty in my natural self.
I'm determined to change and inspire people with the sound of my music.
Rites is not a program, and that's why we say it's a process. It's about always becoming.
And it's also like a good space for youth to be in. I think so. So that's why I'd recommend the Rites of Passage process to other youth.
I would most definitely recommend Rites of Passage to other youth. You know, I think there should be a Rites of Passage program for people of all cultures so that it can apply to their cultures. You know, especially in the case of Black people, with us being like assimilated and losing a lot of our culture, I think that it's really necessary.